It is currently the end of the summer, so I've officially finished. I worked every single day. I mean, I have, 2 more days of work. Right after that, I'm gonna be heading back to school. People told me I would hate this summer and it feels like I'm losing my childhood or whatever, but to be honest, I wouldn't feel good if I didn't do this. I knew this is what I needed to do, and I now have money. I already said in the last video, I invested some of the money I made from my job into a mentorship, and now I have money saved. If I ever need to put money into anything, I can do that. I don't necessarily have a topic for this video, but I do want to first start off by stating the drive I had to even recording this in the first place. I'm sure you guys can clearly see I haven't been uploading much. I'm pretty inconsistent with the videos I post, and there's a lot of distance between them. The reason for that, it doesn't have direct correlation into what I'm doing with business right now. Like I said in the last one, I'm currently working on creating an Instagram theme page. Because of that, it felt like recording videos would just take away time from my actual business. But my mindset has kind of changed on that, and I think me recording these videos, this channel, and really just any endeavor I go to in life, it's not just about money. To make a long story short, my mother showed somebody my YouTube channel, and he found a lot of interest in the topics I spoke about and the ideas that I have to share. As a result, he wanted to speak to me, so one morning we met up at a coffee shop and we just talked. If you're watching this video, you know who you are, but seriously, man, he's an incredible guy, and it just goes to show I would never have had that experience if I wasn't posting these videos. This channel is obviously one, to document my journey, show my entrepreneurial ventures, where I'm in life and where I'm gonna be. But two, I'm also relaying my message, all the ideas that I have day to day, I share some of them on here. And because of that, people like the person I saw at the coffee shop the other day are able to see my character, who I am as a person, and this allows me to attract high value individuals that I'd be interested in speaking to. At the moment, clearly I don't have much money. I'm in the very, very early stage of entrepreneurship. It's kind of hard to network with people because most people assess someone's value by the amount of money they have. And to some extent, I believe that is true. If you look at somebody's bank account, it is a direct result of the actions they took and the steps they took the past decade. But because I'm in the early stage of entrepreneurship, it's not necessarily about what I'm doing wrong. It's been such a small amount of time. I'm clearly taking the right steps every single day, going through trial and error to continue to push, and eventually I will succeed. But going back to what I was talking about, seriously, I was so grateful I got to meet this guy, and this is what it's about. I never would have met him, never would have had that conversation if I was not posting these videos. He saw the message I was relaying. He could see the type of character I am. He can see that I'm somebody who puts a lot of time into developing myself, educating myself, learning, gaining information, but also working towards something, trying to build something meaningful. And as a result, I've built a relationship with somebody I can seriously see myself speaking to for a very long time. I think it just goes to show no matter what, you need to be true to yourself. My whole life, it kind of felt like I put on a persona, trying to be silly or acting funny. And while on the inside, yeah, that is a part of me, the types of things I say on this YouTube channel is the most genuine version of myself. And because of that, it allows me to attract a certain type of individual, somebody like him that I can genuinely bond with. So yeah, all in all, I'm gonna continue posting content because clearly if this is the type of things that come out of it, I can't stop. And now it's like I'm not even doing it for the money. I'm doing it for sheer enjoyment and to relay a message. And I think in anything you do, if you go into it with this type of perspective of doing it for enjoyment, fulfillment, relaying a message, actually building something meaningful, the money will come naturally. When you're not thinking about the money and you're doing something for sheer passion, it allows you to put so much more time. Not only time, energy, your soul. That energy that you put into these things actually translates into something. And that's what money is at the end of the day. Money is energy. I was also very worried about, putting in a lot of time into making content. And yeah, let's say I build a personal brand over the next 3-4 years. By then, AI is probably gonna have taken over social media. It's so easy to automate people's faces and voices now that someone's face brand is not really gonna mean anything. But honestly, I'm not worried about that, and I'm gonna continue to do what I gotta do. And if things change, times change, that's the point of entrepreneurship. You have to be quick and you have to adapt fast. So yeah, that's that. I wanna talk about something else now. I'm just gonna be completely vulnerable. And I think since I've begun my self-improvement journey, maybe 3 years ago, I was fat, undisciplined, playing video games, wasting my time, really living a life of no purpose. Once I hopped on that journey, started exercising and doing more things in alignment of a high value individual, I started living a life of a lot of hate. As I continued to develop myself and try to become a stronger person physically or mentally, it started to bleed out onto other people. In my head, I'd be shaming and judging people, based on their actions and how they live their life. And yeah, maybe they're not doing the things that they should, but the purpose of me doing that was not to try to help anybody, put them on the right path and tell them that they should be doing this or should be doing that. It was really just to fill in something inside of myself. Obviously, being at that very, very low point and trying to get away from all the awful habits and awful lifestyle, there was a lot of insecurity attached to that. By mentioning the things that other people are doing wrong, telling them they shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that, it's really just an ego boost that doesn't even help you in the long run. But in the process of me getting to where I want to be, here I am sitting in front of the camera, and there may be somebody on the other end of this channel who is affected by my words, and I could genuinely make a positive change in somebody's life. The same way a lot of the people that I watch online are constantly making content, making videos. There's that 1%, 2% of people like me sitting on the other end of that screen whose lives are actually changed by their words and their ideas. I just finished reading a book. It's called Meditations, written by Marcus Aurelius. He was basically journaling to himself every single day, and obviously, he's one of the strongest men in history, leader of the Roman Empire. There's a lot of universal truths inside of that book, and I think the biggest thing you get out of that is just adopting a stoic mindset. When you have that mindset shift, instead of just irrationally acting on other people's words or their actions and stuff, you seriously internalize all of those things and ask yourself, is it worth it for me to react in this way? Is it worth it for me to say something? The biggest thing you can take away from the stoic mindset is that you are not your mind, but you are the controller of your mind. Just know that you have any thought, emotion, action, anything that goes on in your head, know that you have the ability to question that. You have the ability to control it. It is true that our mind is just a reflection of our soul. So the types of thoughts that you have in your head, positive or negative, is a direct reflection of what is inside of your soul, what is inside of your heart. But you are not your mind, you are the observer of your mind. So you have full control. Obviously, Marcus Aurelius was a leader, a very, very great leader, and I also want to be a leader too. To be a leader, you have to let go of your pride, you have to let go of that ego. At the end of the day, every human being on this planet was a product of God. God created every single one of these human beings, so you have to treat every single one of them with love and respect, regardless of, nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Every single human being on this planet sins. It'd be impossible for there to be a human being who doesn't sin, because human beings are created in the image of God. Nobody can compare to God. The only thing that has never sinned is God. So you have to walk around treating everybody with the same love and respect. You have to walk around with the same forgiveness that God shows to us human beings. The reason I'm saying this is because I just don't want to be that guy to walk around with a bunch of hatred towards other people. You have to understand, when people say certain things, act certain ways, you have to just forgive them. Because a lot of people, majority of people, are not in control of their minds. They can't step out and really ask themselves, is this the right thing to say to somebody? Is this the right action to make? They let their minds control them. But if you want to be a leader, you have to be that person to accept all of these things. Just know when somebody says something disrespectful to you, when somebody does something bad to you, the person that gets the most pain inflicted onto them is not the victim of that harm. It's the person who said that negative thing, who tried doing that negative action. If you never internalize any of that negative energy, the other person is always going to suffer much greater consequence than you receiving that. But seriously, Meditations is an incredible book. And in a way, I feel like I can kind of relate it to this channel, because he speaks to himself, but as the reader, when you're reading it, it does not feel like it. It feels like he is directly speaking to you. So that's the same way for this channel. I'm kind of speaking to myself when I say all these things. A lot of the times I'm reminding myself of my own values, who I am as a person, and sometimes I speak on things that I want to improve in my life. But there could be somebody on the other end of the screen, the viewer, who feels like they're being spoken to. And that's just the beauty of something like this, or a book, just creating something. You know, this is the digital age, 2025. So this is basically my journal, my diary, the digital diary. I really want to use this to document the beginning and onward. Anything that happens in my life, all the success to come, all the failures, everything is going to be on here. And I guess my last topic for this video is let go of that pride, let go of that ego. You know, do the action every single day that you need to do, you know. Go to the gym, work hard, exercise, do what you need to do. But let go of that pride and the ego attached to it, because you're not gonna grow, you're not gonna learn if all you think about is how great you are. You need to walk around with a deep sense of humility. You need to live life as the student. You are here to constantly learn and become a greater person. Sorry, there's a lot of cars driving by, but yeah, no, you're the student. We're here to learn. So you need to walk around with a sense of humility. You don't know anything. This world is so big, so vast. You're weak. You don't have much knowledge. There's still so much room. So you have to let go of that pride and ego. That's the way you're gonna grow. That's the way you're gonna learn. And you're just gonna take in an influx of knowledge. You know, you're gonna train more. You're gonna do all these things. Just think about somebody, you know, he's young. He makes $40,000 a month, and he thinks he's at the top. He thinks he has it all. He thinks he's rich, right? And those people become complacent. They have so much pride and ego attached to themselves that they think they know it all. And that's what keeps them from growing, from scaling to earning more. You have to continue to remind yourself that you are the student. You really don't know that much compared to how large this world is. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say for today. I'm gonna be going back to school soon, obviously. It's gonna be very tough. It's gonna be tough, but it's gonna pay off. And I think that's another shift I've had in my life is, in the beginning of this, I was just so hyper focused on the cars, the houses, you know, getting crazy watches and living a lavish lifestyle, you know, or even just the money itself. But now I've just become obsessed with the process, and you know, it feels so good every day just getting to it, getting on the computer, working every single day and bettering myself as a human being, reading all these books, exercising a ton, eating 100% clean. All these things are in alignment with the type of person who would attract all those other stuff. So again, it's like I said in the beginning, the money will come. The money and all that other stuff is just a byproduct of the person you become and what you build. And there is so much more to life than any of that money. Obviously, you know, I'm chasing financial freedom, but dude, I want to travel the world, see beautiful views in all these different countries, and that's more valuable than any Lamborghini or Bugatti. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you later.